Picture this, it's January 2nd. You've got a new app on your phone, a pantry full of ingredients you can't pronounce, and an alarm set for 5 a.m. so you can do a fasted workout before the sun's even up. You feel unstoppable. By week 2, you're exhausted, starving, and back to your old routine, and you tell yourself you just need a better plan next time. Here's the part nobody in the fitness space wants to say out loud: your body doesn't care how exciting your plan is. Fat loss isn't a performance, it's a biological process, and biology rewards consistency, not creativity. The people who actually get lean aren't running some underground protocol. They're running the same 4 unremarkable moves on a loop, every single day, until their body has no choice but to change. Today I'm handing you those 4 moves. No supplements, number 6 a.m. boot camps, no shock your metabolism gimmicks, just the 4 habits that quietly do all the heavy lifting. And stick around for habit 3, because skipping it is the single biggest reason people stall out around week 2, and once you see why, the other 3 finally click into place. Here's the problem: exciting plans are easy to start, but boring habits are easier to repeat. And fat loss doesn't reward the most complicated plan. It rewards the plan you can stick to long enough to create results. So here are the 4 boring habits that do exactly that. Most people leave breakfast up to chance. Some mornings it's nothing because you're rushing out the door. By 10 a.m. you're starving, so it's whatever's closest: a muffin, a bar, leftover pizza. That inconsistency makes it harder to stay predictable with your eating for the rest of the day. Pick one high-protein breakfast and eat it every single day. Eggs and spinach, Greek yogurt and berries. A protein shake, it doesn't matter which. What matters is hitting 30+ grams of protein and repeating it without variation. 2 things happen. First, you remove a decision before 8 a.m., which matters more than people think. Willpower isn't unlimited, and every choice you don't have to make in the morning is willpower saved for later. Second, protein tends to be more filling than carbs or fat, which can help blunt hunger for hours afterward. You're essentially pre-deciding how hungry you'll be at 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. before you've even left the house. For many people, repeating a filling breakfast makes the rest of the day's eating easier to manage, not because they suddenly have more discipline, but because they're simply less hungry. But controlling hunger is only half the battle. The next habit takes just 10 minutes, and it happens after you've already eaten. Forget the idea that you need an hour of cardio to see results. That's the fitness industry selling you exhaustion. What actually moves the needle takes 10 minutes and 0 effort. After your biggest meal of the day, you get up and walk. Here's why it can help. After you eat, your blood glucose usually rises and your body releases insulin to help manage that glucose. But when you start walking, your contracting leg muscles also increase their demand for energy and can take up more glucose. That means a short walk after a meal can help reduce the size of the post-meal blood sugar spike while also adding more daily movement. And the best part, you don't need another workout. Just walk for 10 minutes after your biggest meal. But the next habit is the one that determines whether your daily calorie burn stays high, even on days you never step inside a gym. Now, third habit, the daily step minimum. This is probably the most boring habit on the list, and possibly the most important. When it's time to burn fat, most people default to the most brutal cardio they can find: sprints, hit circuits, anything that leaves them gasping. The problem isn't that intense cardio is bad for fat loss. It can absolutely help. The problem is that the hardest form of exercise isn't always the easiest to recover from and repeat consistently. Walking is different because it's low impact, requires almost no recovery, and can dramatically increase your total daily activity without making you feel like you've just finished another workout. That makes it one of the easiest tools for increasing energy expenditure while still keeping the habit sustainable. So instead of chasing random workouts, set a daily movement floor, a number you can realistically hit almost every day. For many people, that might mean gradually working toward 8,000 to 10,000 steps. If you're currently far below that, start lower and build up. It won't feel athletic. You won't come home drenched in sweat. But a daily walk with a podcast in your ears quietly keeps your total activity high, and when daily movement quietly drops, it can make maintaining the calorie deficit much harder. But even if your nutrition and movement are perfect, there's one thing that can make sticking to both dramatically harder: poor sleep. You could nail the first 3 perfectly and still spin your wheels if you get this one wrong. Your body runs on an internal clock. If you're in bed at 10 p.m. Monday, 1 a.m. Wednesday, and 3 a.m. Saturday, you're handing yourself jet lag on a weekly loop. The cost shows up in more than just tiredness. Poor, inconsistent sleep is linked to changes in appetite-regulating hormones, often making it harder to manage hunger the next day. Run that pattern long enough and staying consistent with your diet and training gets a lot harder, no matter how clean your plan looks on paper. The fix is almost insultingly simple: pick a bedtime and a wake time, and hold both 7 days a week. No exceptions for weekends. And here's the part most people get wrong: these habits aren't supposed to feel exciting. They're supposed to become automatic. Because the best fat loss plan isn't the one that feels hardest for 2 weeks. It's the one you can still follow 2 months from now. Same high-protein breakfast. A 10-minute walk after meals. A realistic daily step floor. One consistent sleep schedule. That's it. No extreme diet. No exhausting cardio. No complicated plan. Just 4 boring habits you can repeat long enough to actually see results. The people with the results you want aren't doing anything exciting. They're just doing this, every day, without fail. If this video made fat loss feel simpler, subscribe to FitLab, because that's exactly what we do here, cut through the noise and make building a better body easier to understand.